Hello, Shell Point. We have a special guest in the studio here at Shell Point TV today. We have Herb Sklar from Eagles Preserve. And as many of you know, probably most of you know, Herb has had a long, distinguished career in art direction and photography, and has certainly contributed a lot to the art vibe of Shell Point, particularly with his classes in painting and photography. And Herb has had a huge project that he's been working on here that is about to see public display and exhibition. And Herb, we're really proud of you for putting this together. It's quite an accompliment. Tell us about it.
Yeah, huge in size as well as huge in scope.
Tell us what it is.
Okay. About a year and a half ago, I guess, I got interested in wanting to photograph people who were in their 90s, and if you look up people in their 90s to 100, they're called Nonagenarians. So that's why the show is called The Nonagenarians of Shell Point. But not because of their age and not because they look old, but because of their vitality and because they're interested and they do things. Normally in a portrait, I wouldn't necessarily use a prop, but every one of these have props because they tell a story about a well-lived life.
So each one is, you pick them because of something that they remain involved with. Right.
Sculpturing, painting, jewelry making, writing, whatever. Each one was picked. And I felt when I started it that because of their age, I should do it in black and white. But black and white digital just didn't make it. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it in film. I don't own a film camera.
You don't anymore?
No, I haven't used a film camera in 40 years. So I said, okay, I'm going to buy a used film camera, and I want to make the pictures large. So I did a lot of research, and I ended up with getting a Mamiya 645.
Now remember, this camera hit the market when I was in college, as I recall. It was the hot ticket in the 70s.
This is one of the first ones they make. This is 120 film, which is a little different. And on the newer cameras, you didn't have to pull this out to load the film. There was another box just hooked. It's like the old copy of the old Hasselblad.
So this 120, this makes a really large negative.
It makes a negative twice the size of a 35 millimeter.
So therefore you can make beautiful big prints.
And if you look at the lens, I mean, God, that's pretty big. Your 35 doesn't have a lens like that.
Right. So
no,
nice big image.
It's a big image, but I had to put, I must have put about 6 months of research into this. Okay.
First now, how much film did you buy for that thing?
That is another thing. The film runs about $6 a piece, but to get it processed the way I wanted, that was where it got expensive and get it printed. What I did was I took the film and I sent it to California. There's one outfit in California and wherever they are. And they really specialize in film. That's all they do. But not only did they develop the film, they did something that I needed. They high-res scanned it. Okay, which then put it back on the internet, so I was able to take my picture and then make a digital, not a platform, a digital image out of it, so I can put it on a stick and take it over to the photo.
So you had it processed from the digital image.
Yes, which made it a hybrid.
Okay.
Very interesting. Once they, well, we used to convert video that way. We used to do video on film because it had a great look. But it took forever to edit. So we convert the whole thing to digital. We'd edit, boom, boom, boom. Well, similar, same process. So the camera was a little shaky. I didn't have a tripod that was really strong enough for it, but we did manage. And part of the problem was when I got the camera, it had a viewfinder that had to look down. It's hard to do portraits, you're looking
Right,
down.
sure.
So I had to go back to eBay and
You
get
found the- found the
then I had to get
one
special
that fitted in it.
batteries, and then I get film, and then
Quite a commitment to do
wait.
it
And
that
after
way.
all that, I said, okay, now how do I expose this thing? And there's an app for that on my phone, and son of a gun, the app is accurate. I use the app,
How about
a
that?
light meter.
For a light meter app.
A light
I
meter
hadn't
app,
thought
and it
about that.
really worked.
Really
So
works. How about it?
it took about 6 months from the day I had the idea to actually make the first test, and I got a hold of Lester Davison, who's a friend of mine. I figured if I'm going to make a fool of myself, I might as well do it in front of a friend. So I lit everything with some cold light boxes and a white background, and went through the procedure, and it was slow. It's just so the opposite of digital,
Sure.
which in a way was wonderful, because I just didn't go press the shutter.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to think about it.
Sure.
I only got 15 shots. Okay, and I had to make everyone count, because when this thing came back, it's going to cost me about $60 to do this one roll of film, so it had to be right.
yeah.
Or
Now, this whole project, you were talking about how you made it, but now that it's together, ready to show, there's another whole wonderful thing that's happening with the Alliance for the Arts, where it's going to happen.
this is the first time that the Alliance for the Arts is going to have an all shell point show. I'm going to have 20 of these images, and behind that, in the main gallery, I picked 11 photographers from Shell Point, some of the better ones, who will be showing their work. So it's an all Shell Point Alliance
Terrific.
show, and that is really terrific and
So
really
we had
exciting.
well, this show is accompanied by a book that Herb has put together that has the images that will be on display. Fabulous stuff. This is going to be available for sale at the show. And there's somebody you wanted to talk about?
I do. Tanya Hochschild wrote all the bios. She interviewed every one of these people, 20 of them. She went to their house, and her bio is going to be framed and put right near the photograph, so you could read all about them. And she did a great job, and of course, her bios are in the book there with me.
So check out the book, check out the show. This is something you're not going to want to miss at the Alliance for the Arts.